Hey drumheads, little drummer boy here, and this is MAGA Good News for the week ending Saturday, March 14th, 2020. And first off, we start off with gas prices have fallen. There's a lot of bad news right now, but I'm trying to focus on the positives, and gas prices are below $2 a gallon here in North Carolina. Not sure what they are where you live, but I am sure they're a lot lower than they were. The Saudis flooded the market with oil to compete with Russia, and therefore the law of supply and demand. The gas prices have fallen dramatically, which is a blessing, especially in these troubled times. On March 10th, President Trump awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom to General Jack Keane. General Jack Keane, he's on Fox News a lot, and he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Also, last Tuesday, President Trump won primaries in Mississippi, Missouri, Michigan, North Dakota, and Washington and Idaho. So big primary wins. And the fake news doesn't tell this stuff, but President Trump, unopposed in the primary, well, there's some guy's name on the ticket, but I can't remember who it is. I mean, basically, President Trump's unopposed in a Republican primary. Well, do you realize President Trump, not only has he set the record for primary voters who have voted for him for an incumbent, but his primary votes that he has been getting is more than all of the Democrats' primary votes totaled together. In other words, all of them that were running, he's down about two now, and Gabby, who they missed out on, that's the one they should have went with. She wouldn't have beat Trump, but she's only halfway sane one, plus she's easy on the eyes, let's face it. But yeah, all of them together did not come up with the votes that President Trump did in each primary, and he was running unopposed. Amazing. On Wednesday, March 11th, Governor Gavin Newsom, the former husband of Kimberly Guilfoyle, and who now dates Don Trump Jr., Gavin Newsom on March 11th, one of the most liberal governors in America, the former mayor of San Francisco, the one that started the whole gay marriage mess out there in San Francisco. He praised President Trump for his handling of the Wuhan virus. And you ask me, why are you calling it the Wuhan virus? You can't call it that. Well, that's the reason I say that, because the reason I say Wuhan virus, it came from a place called Wuhan, China, and the liberal fake news media called it the Wuhan virus until several weeks ago. And then now they decided it's racist and politically incorrect to call it where it came from, just like Rocky Mountain spotted fever is named for where it came from. So anyway, I don't care much for political correctness, and if they say we can't say it, I'm going to say it. So from here on out, I refer to it as the Wuhan virus. That's where it came from, and what the fake news used to call it. So anyway, Gavin Newsom, governor of California, he said that President Trump did everything that he promised to do. And, you know, President Trump has kept all of his campaign promises to us voters, too. And so, yeah, Trump 2020, baby. And on Wednesday, March 11th, he gave an address to the nation concerning the Wuhan virus and to calm our fears about that. And you know what? I don't know about y'all, even though these are scary times, and I've never seen anything like this in my nearly 50 years, but I feel, first of all, I'm trusting God. But secondly, I feel very comfortable with who his anointed and appointed Donald John Trump been in charge, and Vice President Mike Pence been in charge, and their team. I feel really comfortable that they are doing their best to keep us safe and to end this virus, and that they are looking out for us. And so I'm thankful for the leadership we have under Hussein Obama and Quid Pro Joe. 17,000 people died during the swine flu. 300,000 Americans were hospitalized. 17,000 died, including 1,800 children. But yet the media, instead of creating a panic and hysteria, instead of purposely crashing a good economy, which they didn't have such a great one. President Trump had, the best economy going on ever, and then this curveball came out of nowhere and just tanked it. For now, it will come back once this is over. But yeah, under Obama and Quid Pro Joe, 300,000 Americans hospitalized, 17,000 died, including 1,800 children, and the media didn't create a panic. They didn't crash the stock market. No hysteria, not one closing. And it was way worse than this Wuhan virus, at least for now. Not one closing. And all the media said was they were crickets, except they praised their Messiah, Barack Obama, for doing such a great job getting all those people killed by the swine flu. But anyway, President Trump, I'm so glad we have him in control now instead of Obama and, or Biden-Obama, as Quid Pro Joe called it. I'm glad those bozos are not in office anymore, because a lot more people would die. They probably wouldn't have banned the flights coming in from China, and that, Lord only knows how many lives President Trump saved by doing that. He got called a racist for doing it. People act like China's a race and not a country. It's not a race, it's a country. For you snowflakes that don't know, the predominant race in China is Asian, but China is not a race. Chinese is not a race. It's just like saying things against, Islam is racist. Islam's not a race. There's Islamists, white, black, Arabic, Islam's not a race either. But I'm chasing a rabbit here. But my whole point is, I'm glad we have a president who I believe is a lot more competent than anybody the Democrat Party could have put forth. And I'm glad Donald Trump is in control right now. And I can imagine that in November, the American people would trust Quid Pro Joe, who doesn't know his name, doesn't know who his wife is, doesn't know what office he's running for, doesn't know what state he's in. The dude, it's sad because I've got people in my family with dementia, and it's sad, but Quid Pro Joe has no business running for president. The dude obviously has dementia, early onset dementia. I'm making that prognosis right now. On Thursday, March 12th, President Trump met with Japan's Prime Minister Abe, and they had a good meeting. And on the 13th, he held another conference about the Wuhan virus and declares a national emergency, which freed up a lot of emergency funds to fight the Wuhan virus. And now he's talking about giving, I've heard $1,000 to each adult in America, and that would be very helpful because a lot of people, like overnight, going from gangbusters economy to nothing. All of a sudden people are just out of work overnight. And for those of us who have had that happen to in the past, we know that is not a pleasant experience, and it's a real test of your faith. And POTUS held on, he announced a National Day of Prayer, which was this last Sunday, March 15th, which I think is awesome because we all need to be praying for those who have lost loved ones, for those who are sick, that God will keep our healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, medical teams safe as they tackle this virus, that God will keep our truck drivers safe as they replenish the store shelves that are empty. I've never seen anything like that since I was on mission in Ukraine, which is socialist, the empty store shelves. And we need to pray that God doesn't let anything happen without a purpose. And so we need to pray that God will bring good out of this and that he will draw people to him or closer to him through this. He's not going to waste this opportunity, and he's not allowing this to happen without a reason. It's time for America to turn back to God. He's been real merciful. We've had no real calamities for almost 20 years since 9/11, and he's trying to get our attention. So don't miss the harbinger. Don't miss the warning. Things can get worse. You can always hit a new bottom, as they say in AA and CR. Saturday, March 14th, Congress passed the Wuhan virus bill, and that was great. We actually had bipartisan support for something. Nancy Pelosi tried to get in funding, abortion funding for Planned Parenthood. She tried to sneak that in. Is there a more despicable person on earth than Nancy Pelosi? We really need to pray for her, y'all. Pray for her salvation and the salvation of her whole atheist, anti-God, anti-Christian, anti-Bible party. And on that same day, Saturday, President Trump attended meetings about the Wuhan virus and holds a press conference. And he also talked with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau by telephone. And that's been a strained relationship in the past, but, hopefully all the America, we got to put aside our politics right now, and countries, the whole world is in this thing together right now. So countries have to put aside their politics right now too. And we've all got to try to work together as one human race to defeat this virus. And I pray you all stay well and stay healthy. I myself, my cough is back. I've had a lot of respiratory issues this year. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor, and I have had chemo, and I've also had radiation pills. And I didn't know till my nurse sister, who is also a 2-time cancer survivor, told me. But I have a weakened immune system. No wonder I'm so sick all the time. I've been sick like 5 weeks this year. Y'all pray for me. But I have no temperature. I have no signs other than the runny nose and the cough. I have no temperature. So I would get a little concerned if I would get a temperature. But pray for me. This has been a really rough winter for me being sick. And I'll pray for y'all too. And I hope y'all stay safe. Don't be taking any unnecessary risk. I love you. God bless you. And peace out. MAGA Good News.